Y'all can get out. Y'all can get out. There's no meeting now. So they say this. There's no quorum.
In a dramatic turn of events, a heated exchange erupted when the mayor demanded everyone leave the room. "Y'all can get out. It's no meeting now," she declared, leaving everyone stunned. But the bombshell didn't stop there. She added, "Let me say this. There is no quorum," sending shockwaves through the crowd. What did this cryptic message mean? Was it a warning, a jab at someone, or something else entirely? Stick around as we break down this unforgettable moment.
No excuse for any elected official to miss 8 meetings in a row. Andrew Holmes is in dark, but you're a distractor. You're beneath me. That's what I've realized now. You're beneath.
Tensions reached a boiling point when the mayor unleashed a blistering tirade, calling out Andrew Holmes for missing 8 meetings in a row. There's no excuse for any elected official to miss 8 meetings, she fired back. But the real shocker came next. "You're a distractor. You're beneath me," she boldly declared. What sparked this fierce confrontation? Is this the end of the line for Holmes, or just the beginning of a larger power struggle? Stick around for the full breakdown. Tiffany Henyard's reign is cracking, and this time it's at Thornton Township. The self-proclaimed super mayor is facing a storm she can't control. Accusations of corruption, reckless spending, and power plays have finally caught up to her. Township officials are pushing back, and the walls are closing in. Heated meetings, explosive allegations, and a crumbling grip on power. Her downfall might be closer than ever. What went wrong? How did she go from calling the shots to losing control? Stay tuned, because this political drama is far from over. Hey guys, I am Olivia. Welcome to Red Rumbles, where chaos meets controversy. From Hollywood scandals to brutal boxing showdowns and political firestorms, nothing stays hidden for long. Corrupt officials, shocking betrayals, and fights, both in the ring and behind closed doors, get exposed here. If you crave raw, unfiltered drama with no punches pulled, you're in the right place. Don't just watch. Hit that subscribe button and stay locked in. The truth doesn't wait, and neither should you. Tiffany Henyard's ascent in local politics was nothing short of meteoric.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments. There will be anything. It'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
She entered the political scene with a vision, one of change and reform, promising to improve the lives of those in Dalton and Thornton Township. Her confident speeches, a focus on community empowerment, and an almost larger-than-life persona earned her the nickname Super Mayor. At first, many saw Henyard as a breath of fresh air. She promised to revitalize a township that had struggled with financial issues and systemic problems for years. She presented herself as a leader who could get things done, unlike those before her. Her early years were marked by bold actions and a charismatic presence that appealed to a wide variety of residents. But as her term wore on, Henyard's methods began to raise questions. Her commitment to solving community problems seemed to be overshadowed by a growing appetite for power and control. Do you think Henyard's early success was truly about making change, or was it all just a performance? Henyard's most controversial move came when she assumed dual roles, mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township. This consolidation of power was celebrated by some, but raised serious concerns for others. The question on everyone's mind became, was Henyard running the township for the people, or was she running it for her own benefit? Her supporters argued that this dual role gave her the ability to make faster decisions and implement reforms without having to answer to multiple layers of bureaucracy. But detractors saw this as a blatant power grab. Having control over both Dalton and Thornton Township allowed Henyard to appoint key officials, oversee budgets, and pass laws with little oversight. Many began to feel the weight of this unchecked authority. Was she making decisions in the best interest of the community, or was she becoming too self-serving? What do you think? Was Henyard's consolidation of power an attempt to help the community? Or did it go too far? As Henyard's control over the township grew, so did the allegations against her. Financial mismanagement became one of the central accusations. It wasn't long before residents began questioning where their tax dollars were going. There were reports of unusually high expenses for projects with no clear outcomes, and suspicious contracts awarded to companies with little transparency.
I think you should pay everybody. Is it the reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for. You just got.
Several audits revealed that the township's financial health was worse than previously thought. Debt skyrocketed, and many of the promised projects failed to come to fruition. Yet Henyard continued to push forward with plans that raised eyebrows, with critics accusing her of using public funds for personal gain. Investigations into these matters were quickly initiated, and the accusations continued to pile up. Whistleblowers from within Henyard's administration started coming forward, claiming they had witnessed financial wrongdoing and coercion to cover up critical errors. Did Henyard's actions feel like a betrayal of the trust placed in her by the people, or is there another side to the story? As the financial issues mounted, the public began to demand answers. Town hall meetings turned into heated exchanges, with residents, activists, and politicians alike calling for Henyard to step down. Her supporters tried to defend her, but the evidence of financial mismanagement and lack of accountability was too overwhelming. Henyard, however, seemed unfazed by the criticism. She continued to dismiss her opponents, branding them as enemies of progress. Publicly, she maintained that the accusations against her were politically motivated and based on nothing more than personal attacks. But behind the scenes, Henyard's position was weakening. The division between her supporters and detractors grew wider, and she increasingly found herself isolated within the political landscape. At first, it seemed like she could weather the storm, but cracks were beginning to form in her carefully crafted image. Do you think Henyard's refusal to listen to the public contributed to her downfall? Share your thoughts in the comments. The turning point came when even the leadership within Thornton Township rejected her. As Henyard's political allies started to turn their backs, those within her inner circle began to distance themselves from her as well. Key officials who had previously supported her now found themselves at odds with her policies, and public votes went against her interests. The township board, once loyal to Henyard, voted against several of her initiatives. Town meetings became increasingly contentious, and it wasn't long before it became clear that Henyard was no longer in control. Her opponents, both within the township and beyond, began calling for her resignation. What had once been a unified front now splintered as Henyard's leadership became untenable. Do you think Henyard should have stepped down earlier to avoid this crisis? Or did she have the right to fight for her position? Let us know your thoughts. With growing discontent among the public and elected officials, legal challenges were inevitable. Lawsuits were filed against Henyard, accusing her of financial mismanagement, abuse of power, and corruption. These legal battles were not just political, they were personal, and the stakes had never been higher. Investigations by law enforcement began to intensify.
I'm a private investigator. I've got some books that secret here. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois.
Whistleblowers within her administration provided critical information that painted a damaging picture of Henyard's actions while in office. The allegations were serious enough to warrant federal attention, and several high-profile figures in the region began to call for an investigation into Henyard's financial activities. The mounting legal troubles threatened to overshadow anything she had accomplished during her time in office. What do you think will happen next for Henyard? Will she face charges, or will she manage to escape? Drop your predictions in the comments. Despite the overwhelming opposition, Tiffany Henyard was not going down without a fight. As investigations continued and the media pressure mounted, Henyard began to rally her remaining supporters, accusing her critics of being part of a conspiracy. She called the investigations baseless and asserted that the media had unfairly targeted her. In her final attempts to hold on to power, Henyard launched a public relations campaign. She appeared at press conferences, making bold statements about the future of Dalton and Thornton. She continued to argue that the public was being manipulated by political enemies, and that the true agenda of the opposition was to remove her from office at any cost. But her efforts to maintain control only seemed to reinforce the perception that she was disconnected from reality. Was Henyard's defense strategy too little, too late? Or did she have a chance to turn things around? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. As of now, Tiffany Henyard's future remains uncertain. The damage to her reputation is severe, and her political career seems to be on the brink of collapse. With multiple investigations underway and public opinion turning against her, it seems highly unlikely that she will make a comeback anytime soon. However, history has shown us that in politics, anything is possible. Henyard may try to reposition herself or seek a different political path. But for now, it seems like her time as the super mayor has come to a painful and public end. Do you think Henyard will ever regain her political power, or is this the end of her career? Share your thoughts below. Tiffany Henyard's fall from grace is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power, lack of accountability, and the consequences of neglecting public trust. What started as a promise of change ended in a spectacle of controversy and legal battles. Would love to hear your thoughts on this entire saga. Do you think Henyard's actions were justified, or was she always destined to fail? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to Red Rumbles for more updates on this and other political stories that are shaking up the local scene. Thanks for tuning in. Stay informed, and we'll see you next time.